Discovering Subtle Shadows, Unmasking Bias in Texts. Hello learners! Today, we are diving into the fascinating world of critical reading, focusing on a crucial skill: identifying bias in texts. Bias often influences the way information is presented and can subtly alter our understanding of a subject. Our main goal today is to help you spot and understand these biases. Let's get started. In simple terms, bias is a strong inclination towards a particular belief or opinion, often held in disregard of contrary evidence. In texts, bias can present itself in a number of ways: through the use of loaded language, one-sided arguments, ignoring contrary evidence, or even through the sources that an author chooses to cite. Identifying bias can be a challenge, as it often hides in the nuances of language. Look for these key indicators. 1. Loaded language. This refers to words and phrases that carry strong emotional implications. They can be used to manipulate the reader's emotions towards a certain viewpoint. 2. One-sided arguments. If a text presents only one side of an argument or issue, and ignores or minimizes the opposing side, this can be a strong indicator of bias. 3. Ignoring contrary evidence. Bias can manifest in the dismissal or omission of evidence that contradicts the writer's point of view. 4. Source selection. An author's choice of sources can also reflect bias. If the sources cited all have the same viewpoint or ignore the complexity of the issue at hand, the author may be presenting a biased argument. Let's delve into some examples. 1. Loaded language. The reprehensible acts of vandalism committed by the protesters have shocked the community. In this sentence, the use of the word reprehensible demonstrates a negative bias against the protesters. 2. One-sided arguments. All citizens should vote for the tax increase because it will fund essential community services. This statement fails to acknowledge the other side of the argument, that the tax increase may place a financial burden on some individuals or families. 3. Ignoring contrary evidence. Climate change is a hoax. There is still snowfall every winter. Here, the author disregards the wealth of scientific evidence supporting the reality of climate change. 4. Source selection. If an article discussing climate change only cites sources from fossil fuel companies and ignores research from climate scientists, this would be an example of bias. Mastering the art of identifying bias is no easy feat, but with practice, it becomes second nature. Remember, critical reading is not about discrediting everything you read, but rather about understanding the context, questioning the sources, and seeing the whole picture. Keep practicing, and you'll find yourself becoming a more discerning reader. Happy learning, and see you in our next video.